What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and a little Chaos 5 fun. Now, I've heard quite a few people tell me that they're either having problems in Chaos 5 or considering trying to skip Chaos 5. Now, of course, with proper builds, we do know that it is, although it can be difficult, it is possible to skip Chaos tiers. But remember, when you do that, that means you're going to have to spend twice as long in that next tier to get yourself all caught up on gear. So I kind of wanted to share with you all the Chaos 5 build that I used when I was first breaking into Chaos 5. Now, we're starting off on Dragonfall sewers here, as you see, Chaos 5 Trials. And this, in my opinion, is without a doubt the easiest Chaos 5 map. And there was actually a time where this was the only map I could beat consistently. So I would grind just this map and look for this map over and over again because I knew that I was going to beat this one every time. Now, of course, after getting a couple of upgrades, that was no longer the case and I was able to move on. However, this map is definitely a great starting point for Chaos 5 Trials. Now, just for comparison, I went through and got myself a set of Chaos 4 gear. So I'm going to be going with cannonballs, using a mark here for no better reason other than it's just what I found. Going with deadly strikes, defense rate, and stun fire. Now all the shards that I'm going to be using here are below Chaos 4 and below, so campaign to Chaos 4. I'm also doing this at 60 Ascension. If you look at my heroes across the board, I just have 60 Ascension points in, assuming that you'll be about level 60 Ascension when you take on Chaos 5. Now, of course, the reason I picked that number is that is really the milestone with Ascension, as it allows you to max both your defense crit chance or your hero crit chance on DPS heroes and your defense speed. So I'm going to be going with Squire Cannons and Blockades. Just using Fortification in the Blockades, not bothering with any of the shards. Then I'm going to use Poison Dart Towers, and I'm going to use Defense Rate, Defense Range, or Deadly Strikes and Power Transfer, the trifecta of Builder Shards, and I'm actually using this in every defense. So I'm going to use Monk Skyguard Towers as well, Defense Rate, Defense Range, and Power Transfer. And then we're going to throw in some Flamethrowers with Defense Rate, Defense Range, and Power Transfer. Very powerful combination, those three shards. I encourage everyone play around with those, as that is a winning combo for sure. Now, taking a look at my Huntress Ascension, same thing, 20 points into defense crit chance, 20 points into defense speed, nothing else assigned. On the Monk, this is going to be my DPS hero and my Skyguard Tower. So I had to make a decision here. Now, I personally am willing to help out a little bit with the flyers, so I'm just going full hero damage. I'm not going into my defense crit at all, as Skyguards are not going to be the main basis of the build. So 20 points into hero crit chance. I still do have those 20 points into defense speed. And then since defense health is an issue in C5, I put those 20 points into defense health. Now I'm going to be rolling as a Chi Blast monk. So I've got ability power and hero health on all my pieces. Hero crit damage is a nice little bonus to have in there as well. And of course, as we all know, Smashing Fists is just really, really strong against rollers. So Smashing Fist it is. In the head, I'm going with Inspiration, Channel, and Power Storms. Just Bulwark in the chest. Critical Strike and one with Chi, because this will be a Chi Blast focus in the gloves. And then Speed Boost and Crane Stance in the boots. And then on those Flamethrowers, we're going with, of course, Defense Rate, Range, and Power Transfer. Here is my Ascension, 20 points in Defense Crit Chance, 20 points into Defense Speed. And let's go ahead and get it started and build it out here. Now, as I mentioned, this is in all Chaos 4 gear. This is the Chaos 4 gear I picked up while doing some runs with the Steam group. And as I mentioned in my How to Beat Chaos 5 for the first time video, we're going to rely very heavily on Cannonball Stun, as that is really what's going to help us out with the assassins. Now, in addition to Cannonball Stun, Skyguard towers are very, very powerful. So this is going to be my assassin killing area. I'm going to try to keep the mobs killed up here, and then when I get assassins, just run back down here. That way those cannons, that poison dart tower, and the Skyguard can handle business. Now, just for a little double dipping coverage, I am going to put another poison dart tower over here, and that's going to give me a little bit of an assist with the rest of the flyers as well. Now over here on this lane, going to do the same thing. We're going to go poison dart tower. You know what, let's just throw one cannon here just to give a little bit of CC to the lane. And then a wall, of course. It never fails, I tell you. I always end up in the pool. I just don't get it. One of these days, I will learn how to jump. Now, one of the easiest ways to build this map is to just ignore the sub-objective on this side and block it off over here. Now, if you wall at the bottom of the stairs, I found you have slightly less problems with Lady Orcs passing up your walls. We're going to go with a poison dart tower there. A poison dart tower there. And then, wrong hero. Let's get a little bit of cannonball stun going. So let's just go 2 cannons right here. And then, once again, using those sky guards to help out with the flyers. And I'm just going to throw that right there. Now, in Chaos 5, you do have the luxury of putting some defenses out front. Everything doesn't have to be hidden. So no need to hide stuff behind your walls. We see that this lane is going to come down here and then around. And right here is a perfect spot for a poison dart tower. And although it doesn't provide a perfect protection against dive bombing flyers out of that lane, it does give us a little bit of something to hide behind there. And then once again, we've got another straightaway lane that is just itching for baddies to get poisoned up. Now, I mentioned we're going to be throwing flamethrowers in the mix, and the flamethrowers are basically going to just provide us a little AoE damage and burn down the packs. Very important to put your flamethrowers where they will not be in the way of ranged mobs, because ranged mobs are going to shoot at the walls, and if your flamethrowers are between them and your walls, they're going to get hit. So let's go with 2 of them way up here out of the way. Right here on this lane, we're going to go ahead and go with 3 of them. And we're going to double dip here, because of course we do have 2 lanes right next to each other. It'd be kind of silly not to. And then we're going to go with, what, we're 20 DU high. I tell you what, let's get rid of this sky guard and really focus on flyers on that side. That's going to leave me 70 DU. So I can go with a flamethrower right there, and then why don't we throw a cannon in the mix for a little stun on this lane as well. And that's going to do it for our 900 DU. Now, we do have flyers coming out of here and coming out of that lane, so I am going to get an upgrade on 2 of these items over here just to make sure that we're going to handle those flyers. Now, of course, as I mentioned in the other video, one of the easiest ways to deal with assassins is to stack hero health. So you see here, I'm at 110,000 hero health, and I do have those 20 points into hero health as well in the Ascension. And hero health will make your life much, much easier against these guys. Now, you can plan on dying. They are assassins, for God's sakes. They're going to kill you from time to time. However, the more hero health you have, the easier life is going to be. Now, I personally don't really care to go into Chaos 5 with less than 60,000 health. And, of course, you see I've got that almost doubled, but not quite. So basically every time the assassins come on me, I'm just going to come over here to this lane, try to keep myself alive in the process, and then just start pole smashing and chi blasting. Now, I try to save as much as the mana as I can until all the assassins are dead. That way I do have that 100 necessary with my current setup to be able to throw a heal on myself. And the bulk of the damage on this build is all going to be coming from the poison dart towers. The flamethrowers are certainly putting in their work. However, if we just look at this flamethrower has done 1.4 million damage. This poison dart tower has done 19 million. Now, obviously, there's some placement issues there that makes that poison dart tower get in a little bit more action. But let's take a look at these flamethrowers as well. 7 million, they're much better. 7 and 5. So these are definitely much higher, just due to the placement, of course. However, it's all about the PDT. The poison is great, the poison is good. Now that Stunfire Shard is crucial. Now in Chaos 5, once you get a win or two, if you're really lucky, you're going to get the Heavy Cannonball Shard right away, which does drop in Chaos 5. And let me tell you, that is a game changer, as the Heavy Cannonball Shard is just absolutely insanity as far as the crowd control goes. Now Chaos 5 really is meant for either AoE towers, meaning like flamethrowers or ramsters, and projectiles, and it does have a fair amount of cyborgs. So of course if we stay away from those ground defenses, then cyborgs are not really an issue. They're just I mean, they're still big tough orcs, but if they have nothing to stun, then they have no stun. And that's really what I always tried to base my Chaos 5 experience off of. Quite a few assassins. I'm going to say, this one doesn't end in a death, I'll be shocked. That's that 100,000 health is saving the day there. And basically I just passed up hero crit, so any item that did not have, that had ability power and hero health, but wasn't a legendary item for that next stat, I just went with the ability power hero health as my main two stats that I was looking for. Now, looks like old Gribbs is getting uppity on this wall here. Let's give him a little Drago. Nope, Drago's not quite up yet. That's alright. We can chi blast him just as well. Alright. Now, what we've got, wave 3 incoming. You guys know it. If you've already tried Chaos 5, you know there is just a ton of assassins. So, a big part of the game here is the packs of mobs are actually not ridiculously difficult compared to Chaos 4. Just with the assassins on top, you have to be in a position where your walls are going to just have to survive, because sometimes you're just not going to be able to get over to them. And as you see, I keep upgrading the Skyguard. That Skyguard is actually putting in major work against the assassins as well. So I want to make sure I get that bad boy all the way upgraded by the end of the map. Now, how assassins work is when they are on you, when an assassin jumps on you, it is considered a ground mob. So anything that attacks ground defenses is going to hit the assassin. Now, when the assassin leaves you, it is then a flying mob. So it has to be a tower that will attack flying mobs to put in any damage on it. And the Skyguard, of course, is a natural choice. And then you actually have a dedicated defense ready to just start dishing out pain. As you see, it is putting in the work for sure. Skyguards for the win. Now, of course, you know, if your relics are not superior, or if you just had really terrible luck in Chaos 4 with them, put 2 Skyguards. You know, nothing wrong with 2. And it looks like this is probably going to be a death here. Nope, not yet. They're going to get me, I'm sure, but they haven't got me yet. See if we can get a little heal in. Come on, cannonball stun. There we go. Basically, as soon as they stunned off of you, and they're considered a flying mob, then I mean it's over. They're pretty much done for. Little Malthus over here with practically no health left, but just getting in the way, spawning all his little meanies. Of course, the Siege Roller is a big threat in every Chaos tier. However, in my opinion, you should probably put the greatest focus on Malthus as like the first enemy to kill as far as boss mobs go. The Siege Roller, of course, just rolls it out. It slow rolls it. So it takes the Siege Roller a long time to make it towards your walls. Unless, of course, it comes in this lane. We'll have to see. What do we have? We got no siege yet. Let's throw another one up there. Let's get that Sky Guard up to one more time. And that Poison Dart Tower. And make it happen. Now, I know I've been telling everybody to not bother with orbs unless you're in the really lower Chaos tiers. Chaos 5 is really one of the cutoff points where you could consider using orbs. And with that heavy cannonball, once I unlocked that, I actually switched to an orb for the cannons on this in this tier when I was running Chaos 5, as your cannons really, they're not there to dish out the pain. Although they are dishing out pain, they're there 100% just to CC the assassins. Of course, the more shots you get, the more chances of stun. Woo. You see how crucial the 100,000 health is. I say go in with a minimum of 60,000, but at 60,000 you can count on some deaths. There is no doubt. And there's also, 60 Ascension is a pretty low point as far as being in Chaos 5 by now. So there's a good chance that anybody in Chaos 5 or making attempts on Chaos 5 is already past that 60 Ascension mark. So you've got just another leg up on what I'm using here. Now, according to DD2 Tools, the set of gear I drop is kind of like upper middle class for Chaos 4. It's definitely nowhere near the max, but on that same note, it's nowhere near the bottom either. So I did pick up a few decent items when we were doing the viewer runs the other night. That allows me to do this build for you all. And it's tough to do, to be honest with you, to go back and grind out another set just for one video. However, I think it's important that people don't miss out on their Chaos 5 experience. As to be honest with you, when Chaos 5 was the end game, before Chaos 6 and 7 got here, it was actually a really, really good training camp for those of us that were playing back then on just coping with assassins. And most of the players that were rolling through Chaos 5 then have absolutely zero problem with assassins now, once you learn kind of all the little ins and outs and all the little tricks for dealing with them. Come on, stun. Like I said, that heavy cannonball actually works way, way better. And the thing that makes the heavy cannonball shard so effective is it will pierce. So it will actually go through 10, at fully upgraded, it will go through 10 enemies. So when the heavy cannonball procs, it's 100% stun. It's gonna stun at 100% chance, and it will penetrate 10 enemies as long as they're in a straight line. Uh-oh, we got flyers. And here I said I was gonna pay attention to the flyers, and I didn't. I'll have to keep an eye out down there. Now, also remember that assassins do have a cleave. Ooh, I thought that. Oh my gosh. Oh, dang. This is just ugly. Yeah. I knew death was imminent. It had to come at some point. When I was first busting into Chaos 5, I was dying 20 times a map. The assassins are mean. There's no doubt about it. Man, this is just a terrible spot to deal with them. I don't want to lose any of my flamethrowers. One more. Stun them up and wreck them up. Alright, and there we go. And that is a look at Chaos 5 at 60 Ascension in upper middle tier Chaos 4 gear. So definitely not at the top of Chaos 4, but nowhere near the bottom as well. So that will do it for now. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the build here. It was an effective one. I was a big believer in flamethrowers when the trials first hit. I used them all the time. And shy of Chaos 7, they're one of those defenses, along with Ramsters, that do not have a counter. So you can use that in every tier until you get to Chaos 7. So that will do it for now. Thank you for watching. Click the like button and please subscribe to the channel, and I will be back soon with more DD2. We'll see ya.